land partners. We call them land partners because we truly value their partnership with our farm. So that's one thing that's maybe a little different with us, but we do call them land partners. So my relationship with these land partners is all year round. I'm constantly communicating with them as much as they'd like to be communicated with. We have them kind of all over the board. Some people just enjoy coming to an event at the farm once a year, and maybe I'll meet with them a couple times a year to deliver their cash rent check. Some of them need a little more, and that's okay. We're here to provide that. Some of them feel like grandmas to me, or grandparents to me. It just depends on the relationship that we have with them, but we try to cater to each one individually because they are all individual people. And so that's one thing that's been important to us, is just knowing our customer, which is them. They know us, and we just want to make sure that that relationship is taken care of. I always say, like, you need to know your customer, right? We need to know our land partners and what they want in the future. Do they want us to reach out to them once a week to let them know how the crop's doing? Do they want to know, all those certain things that happen throughout the season? We're willing to give them all that information if they want it. If they don't, we don't want to be a burden to them either. So that's one way that we handle that. And it's a year-round process for us here at the farm. So when I came to the farm over 18 years ago now, I wasn't managing our land partner relationships. I was actually managing our trucking fleet. So we had trucks all over the lower 48, and that was part of my job. We sold that business off back in 2012, and I moved into more of a people position. So handling all things people. Back then, we kind of handled our land partners as they were all like, I don't want to say given to me, but like, here's a bunch of file folders with all of our leases in them. And from there, we had an assistant at the time that just organized those into really great books. And so each land partner has, a binder. From there, we've moved to spreadsheets and so on and so forth. And now we have Oaken, which has been terrific on managing those land partners and all their data. But literally, when I first started, it was a file folder with the lease in it. Maybe the lease maybe was up to date, wasn't up to date, but certainly Oaken has turned the page on that and helped us with that. A while back, we moved from Excel to Sheets so everybody could kind of be on the same page of things, and that's how we manage things. However, it doesn't do everything, as we all know. It collects a lot of data, which is great, but you're manually entering that data, right? And it's only as good as the person that's putting it in. So one important thing to us is accuracy. And for payments, for example, I have a spreadsheet that keeps all that in there. It's a Google sheet, which is great, but it's not going to jump out and remind me when something's due. So the beauty of Oaken, I'll go back to that, and I feel like I'll go back to that often because it does, and it lets us do so many different things. But it's going to let you know, hey, you have a payment coming up. Sheets isn't going to do that, or Excel. It has been incredibly beneficial to us. In just that aspect of it. You never, as a tenant, you never want to miss a payment. That's incredibly important and could be detrimental really to your relationship. So we never want to miss a payment. Can I say it's never happened? No, I wish I could. But certainly with all of these new things coming up and out of Oaken, I really foresee the future being bright and not ever missing a payment. It's been a long while since I've missed a payment, but certainly it's been nice to have that platform out there that we're using that kind of like keeps on sending you reminders, right? It's going to say, hey, this payment's due. Gracious enough to let me have the platform pretty early on, and I'm super grateful for that. And while they could have actually put all of our data in there, it was important for me to actually put it in myself. I'm looking back now and thinking I probably could have saved myself some time and just let you all do it. But I wanted to make sure the data I was putting in there was accurate. It was a good kind of check and balance for me too, here at the farm. So streamlining, I think honestly, like having you all put it in would have been great. It would have saved me some time. However, maybe I'm a little OCD in that, but anyway, so that has been great. You all have actually put in a whole lot of other clients for us, vendors that aren't really associated with land partnership in recently. And I saw all those in there and I was like, oh, that was really nice. I didn't even have to touch it. It was boom, it was there. So so that has been honestly seamless in what we were working on. I do think I remember calling one time or texting saying, hey, I found a bug. I found bugs periodically. And I'll tell you, they were fixed just like that. So that was really, really exciting for me. Just knowing that if I did have a problem, it would be fixed fairly quickly. Just a quick example of how Oaken has helped. I was actually cross-referencing our payment file in Oaken to the spreadsheet that I kept. And I accidentally, I had put a brand new lease, a brand new land partner into Oaken. I had put it all in, everything was there, everything was great. I did not put that on my spreadsheet that I was keeping. And so when I was cross-referencing, I noticed that I didn't have it on there and I would have forgotten that payment. And it was a brand new land partner. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like had I missed that, they would have thought we were like, I don't know, not good people or something, but just forgetting that. And so that's the great thing, right? So as I worked with Oaken over these 7 months, it seems like longer than that, actually, but because I talk to you all so often, which is great. We're always, you all are brainstorming, trying to figure out how to make things better and just the quality of the product, just work the best as it can work for farmers that are using it. It's been terrific in that sense. Finding that one little thing could have been detrimental, right? And so I'll probably go back to that example over and over and over again, but that's a big deal. Not only for us, but obviously the land partner as well. I think oftentimes farmers rely a lot on Excel. And while Excel or Sheets or whatever platform you might use is great, it doesn't include everything. Such things as, you know, the lease right in front of you and things like that. So I think the onboarding or even just, you know, demoing with Oaken, the benefits to it are kind of like we can't see into the future, but I'm pretty sure that it's going places, right? I think that Oaken is just going to continue growth and building out this platform to make it even better and really easy to use. I mean, there's one thing that I could say about Oaken is it's incredibly user-friendly. We know that farmers are pretty tech savvy the way it is. However, sometimes they're not. And I think that Oaken is something that can work with a lot of people. I've talked to several people about Oaken, and I feel like if you have more than 10 land partners, then that's probably the sweet spot for Oaken. I mean, obviously we have far more than that. And even more important is when Oaken comes into play, if you even have more than 10. But I think 10 is probably that spot where you can say, okay, I can't manage this on an Excel spreadsheet. But Oaken would do a really, really great job at managing all the things around those land partners, whether it be lease, birthdays, addresses, next gen, you have it, whatever that case might be, maps in the future. That's one thing that Oaken does really well, and it's all in one space.